The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash, a roundtable of Cowboys insiders dropping wisdom and offering sizzling takes on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys. Now, your host, Newy Scruggs.
Hey, we got a lot to talk about here on the Media Mash. Thank you so much for coming in here with your favorite writers. He's most trusted, Clarence Hill. All City Dallas is here, the Hall of Famer. He is Ed Werder in the house, WFAA. You knew him from the Dallas Morning News, CNN, SI. I go back to those days, and also ESPN. He is the national championship, the Buckeye alum himself. He is Jean-Jacques Taylor. At least somebody here at the table's team went and won a playoff game. Won the whole doggone thing, I should say. Won the whole thing. Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate you.
Take your bow. Take your bow.
We took our bow.
You played such a huge role in the accomplishment.
I put my well, I didn't. Yeah.
Got the degree, says the Ohio State University. Congratulations.
That it does.
Yes,
Have you seen the degree?
I don't need to. I
do.
I trust.
I worked with him closely. I need to see it.
So I'm giving you your props, man. I can give you your props.
I appreciate that, man.
Some other people can't.
Yeah, they can.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm
didn't say
supportive
so.
of this man.
I didn't-
But you looked at me, you cut your eyes straight at me.
He's still trying to get over.
He
the
helped
fact
me
he's
get
not
tickets
host
to
today.
the Texas whooping.
Come on, man, stop it.
Okay.
I had no problem with him and his Buckeye fandom. Steve Dennis, on the other hand, who's been texting me nonstop.
Now, see, I don't do any of that. I don't mess with nobody.
I had no problem with this man.
Congratulations. I'm new.
I told Roxanne congratulations outside when I saw her. You know.
She a Buckeye?
Yeah, she a
You
Buckeye.
didn't know that?
She low key now. She low key, but she a Buckeye.
Okay. Well. Yeah, that's rare. Low key Buckeye.
Boy,
My gosh.
boy, I saw
My
Bobby Carpenter in the bowels of the AT&T Stadium after the Cotton Bowl. He was happy.
All right. Oh, Bobby
He
Carter.
wasn't in Cabo.
Wow.
There it is. Nasty
Boy.
work. Nasty work.
Nasty work.
Ed,
I was trying to turn this to the
was good,
Cowboys. Didn't I do that artfully?
a lot of NFL stuff coming here. We just getting word now that the Jaguars are getting rid of GM Trent Baalke. So that news going on there. And then right here in this building, Brian Schottenheimer, offensive coordinator the last 2 years, getting a second interview today with the club. Yesterday's interview, they needed more. Encore performance from Shotty. Ed?
Anybody else getting a second interview among the four people who have interviewed? Not to our knowledge at this point.
To our knowledge.
No.
Ed,
No.
smoke this thing out, Ed.
I think it makes sense from Jerry's
I'm
point of view.
finna say, just don't say it makes sense. just don't leave it with that. It makes sense. Now I'm going to have to question you.
I said from Jerry's point of
Okay,
view.
all right. Just making sure.
Let him talk.
Okay.
Talk.
So he's obviously a very experienced NFL assistant coach, 25 years, been here for 3 years, has not called the plays here. This is the only place among the 10 teams he's worked for where he was the offensive coordinator but didn't call the plays. He deferred to Mike McCarthy on that. So I think the reaction to this is going to be bad.
Awful. It's going to be worse than bad.
Will it be worse than hiring Dave Campo?
Yes, because at least you could sell Campo. That Campo was part of the Super Bowl.
I was going to
era.
say, yes, you could. Yes, you could
You could
sell
sell
it for that.
Campo as part of the Super Bowl era. He was
Yeah.
part of Jimmy, and he was a continuation of that. And
We're
bringing
going
back
back
some of that.
to our championship past.
Yeah, there's nothing to sell here.
There's nothing to sell here?
Nothing.
Continuity. And that's also big on Jerry's agenda.
So we can continue this 7-10.
That's continuity for what? What is
He was part of the 12-5 teams, too.
and the 7-10 team.
Okay.
Again,
I'm just saying
Well,
it's going to
Ed
be
is
criticized, and understandably so, and fairly so, when you're the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry said the Cowboys can always have the best there is in coaching because of our status as a franchise, and then they don't even interview people who are the most coveted coaches in football who are being hired by other franchises.
This franchise is falling apart because of its overwhelming arrogance. I mean, its arrogance is beyond belief. And that's why they think that, yes, anybody should be welcome to have this job, and we don't have to interview these people or that people, and we can just take our time getting around to people because people will be happy to be here, and we can offer Mike McCarthy whatever contract we want because he should just be thankful to be here. And now you're like, dog, this is pathetic. And it's why they can have some talent and they can do well. It's just hard to overcome the arrogance that they have.
So you said pathetic. Are you saying the candidate pool? What's the pathetic
the
part?
pathetic thing is that
Well, you can't presume failure by Schottenheimer. He's never had the opportunity.
No, well, it's not even. It's bigger than Schottenheimer. It's the fact that you're doing all of this so that you're getting yet another coach who's so happy to have a job because ain't nobody else gonna hire him. That whatever you say, hey, Shotty, go jump this high. Yes, sir. How long should I stay in the air? Because he's happy to have the job because he ain't got no other option. He don't even have a coordinator option if he don't get this job. He back to being a position coach making $400,000 instead of, what will Jerry give him?
$4 million.
Will he give him that? Okay. If that makes him the lowest paid coach, he'll get that. So that's what I mean. It's bigger than Shotty. This don't even have anything to do with him. He can't.
Well, ultimately, it does have a lot to do with how he performs in the role.
He can't succeed in this role, is what I'm saying. So that's why I said it doesn't have anything to do with
I wouldn't say
him.
that.
All right, most trusted.
Well, the problem is the process, and I think that's what you're talking about. It's how you're doing it. Ed's saying that, yes, he could be successful. We can't say he won't be successful. And so it's not personal about him.
That's why I say it's not about him.
It's about the process and how you arrived at him. And is this about winning? Is it about being comfortable? Is it about...
Yes.
Right. But is that about winning?
Anybody you talk to who's successful in the world.
First of all, I'm not defending this. I'm saying you can't presume the guy's going to fail.
No. He's railing about the process. Just like you railed about them not interviewing the best coaches that are available. You don't even give a call to Aaron Glenn. You don't even give a call.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Well,
Either they didn't want him or he didn't want them.
They didn't make a request. They can be turned down, just like the Cowboys turned down Mike McCarthy going to Chicago. They didn't even make a request to be turned down. Okay, because they were still dilly-dallying with McCarthy that whole week when they could have done that. So it's the writing process. It's the idea that you were wasting time deciding whether Mike McCarthy wanted to come back, and Mike McCarthy ultimately reportedly turned you down, and then you kind of left with your pants down, and now you're trying.
Well, you only knew for a year this might happen.
Yeah, and now you're trying to grasp at straws. And the other issue is the guys you've interviewed. Okay, the only two guys you've interviewed have been covered by other teams.
Only two of the four who interviewed
two of the four
were interviewed by another.
Yeah, that were wanted by other teams, and like these guys are just nobody else wanted. Are the Cowboys the smartest guy in the room? Do they know something nobody else knows?
Didn't Jerry
Seems they're about due for one of those, doesn't it?
I mean, that's the problem with the whole process, and just like the notion, the problem.
So if you meet with all these top coaches and then pick Brian Schottenheimer, that's different.
Yes.
Than the way it's happening.
Yeah, no doubt. And then you have the Witten component. This is really not about Schottenheimer. It's about getting Witten on the staff.
Not about this coach. It's about the next coach.
Right. It's about getting Witten on the staff so he can be the heir apparent. And listen, Witten may be a great coach, okay, one day. But here's a guy who's gotten out of the mud everywhere he's gone, right? He talked about that, coming from Tennessee, and he wasn't given anything and everything else, and he earned it. He became a
Secrets
Hall of Famer.
in the dirt.
Yes, Hall of Famer. The way he's going about this coaching process, the way he's been put on a pedestal to be the next coach, that's not getting out of the dirt. That's not what Aaron Glenn did. That's not what Dan Campbell did. Work your way up, earn this spot.
That's what he's going to do if he gets on the staff here.
Is it? Are you earning your spot? You've already been given.
Yeah,
It's like Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips. You're not earning anything.
You raised a good point when you say it's about comfortability, but any of us who've ever talked to anybody who's ever been successful in any line of work, what do they say? You must be uncomfortable. You got to experience some uncomfortability. So what? So you can grow and get better. And so when you could take this comfortable process, it's bound to fail.
Okay, so Brian Schottenheimer is getting a lot of the attention right now. Second job interview. Let's circle back to Kellen Moore.
Who?
The Eagles offensive coordinator.
He's busy this week.
Yeah, he got things to do.
Yes, the two teams in the NFC Championship are in the NFC East, Washington and Philadelphia.
And they both have coaches or coordinators who were just here.
Just here. So is Kellen Moore out, Ed?
Hold on, my phone's ringing.
I don't know.
Maybe that's Jerry.
Is that a source?
It is somebody who could be considered a coach here, but
What's the source?
I guess I'll let it ring. I don't know that Kellen Moore's out, but I think the sense I'm getting is that they're more confident in Brian Schottenheimer as a leadership figure, a commanding presence in the room than they are Kellen Moore. Like that's their big concern about Kellen Moore.
And that's been all of our
everybody's
concern.
concern.
Yeah, can he command the room? I mean, he may be a great offensive mind, but we've interviewed him. We've
I don't think
interviewed Kellen Moore.
first of all, I don't think they
interviewed
spent a
both
whole
of them.
lot of time interviewing Kellen Moore to this point. Like it was a 3-hour maximum. They didn't come close to using all of their time.
Yeah. And the thing about is how does this play?
Wait. I'm sorry. Go back to it.
Hey, does your wife still cook those great buttermilk biscuits? Hey, yeah, kids still doing good.
Was it a drive-through interview? What you saying?
Well, it was a Zoom.
It wasn't
interview.
a sit-down meal. Hey, man.
He's the only one that they haven't met
Right.
in person.
Right.
You assume that they know him quite well. He was their quarterback. He was their assistant coach.
A draft pick.
That being said, they have a 3-hour limit at this point to conduct a Zoom with the guy who's about to call plays for the Eagles against Washington.
Yes.
And can't meet with him again until their season is over.
Right.
And they did not use all 3 hours. They did not even come close.
Have you talked to Kellen?
I've talked to people who might know what happened.
No. Have you talked to Kellen?
I have not talked to Kellen.
So
What I'm saying is that when you start talking to Kellen,
Oh, you saying he can't fill 3 hours? I thought you were asking if I got that from Kellen.
No.
dirty work. Talking about dirty work.
That's nasty work
That's
right
nasty
there.
work.
I mean, come on. You know that boy can't fill 3 hours. Y'all know this.
Brian Schottenheimer can. You
Yes,
don't like him
he
either.
can.
Exactly. Which is my next thing.
You know he can't.
Shotty back here for overtime. You know?
Shotty volunteered to take the rest of that time. That's why they're meeting again today.
Listen.
I'll have the rest of that Kellen Moore time, and I'll come in tomorrow.
So, what will be interesting is if you make this decision and Kellen Moore gets to the Super Bowl,
Okay.
you pass on a Super Bowl offense coordinator.
I don't think that matters. That's a results-oriented decision.
Well, and it is, but
I mean, that's like
a results-oriented business.
Well,
I
no,
mean,
we're gonna pass on Aaron Glenn because his defense got rocked last week.
No, but Aaron Glenn has a history of track. I'm just saying though, these are the two finalists right now, the two people that have been favored.
2 of the 4.
Yeah, but two of the ones that considered the favorites.
The non-Rooney rules. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
The two of the ones that have been considered the favorites outside of Dion, he was considered a favorite early on.
Never had a full interview. Never had
Not over here. He wasn't.
Yeah, but anyway, the two of the ones that were considered the favorites, and so I'm saying that if Kellen's your guy, and we know we've all talked about him not being able to command the room, you potentially could sell Kellen as a Super Bowl offense coordinator better than you can sell not inside. I'm talking about to the fan base.
Are we trying to win?
Yeah,
He's
it's
winning.
by winning. That's
He
my
is winning.
point. If he gets to the Super Bowl, you can sell that to the fan base and ultimately to the team better than you can sell a guy that's never gotten there and a guy that nobody else was trying to give a job to.
Are you waiting that long if you're Jerry? I know what he got to lose.
You waited to the end of
It's another
February for
week.
Chan Gailey.
It's another week.
He didn't know Chan Gailey till then.
I mean, I'm just saying, we've been through these coaching processes. Yes, you can wait, but what's the rush now? To get a guy that's in there, what should you
You're already a laughing stock.
You could have interviewed him last week. Then why did we wait till this week to interview him if it's such a rush?
I'm just asking if he's maybe wanting to get this done with so he can hire assistants, keep whatever assistants
Well, I mean,
he has here.
I think it was strategic that the two Rooney Rule candidates were first.
No, Kellen was first.
He was first after they'd already scheduled those other interviews. They had to shoehorn Kellen in because you had to get him done before the weekend.
And he wasn't going to take but a couple minutes.
He was shoehorned in. Exactly. You already talked about
Well, Dion could easily fill 3 hours, and he's got none as far as we could tell.
Those interviews were already scheduled, and then we shoehorned Kellen Moore in that day.
But they could have talked to Leslie Frazier or Robert Saleh, who now appears to be the favorite for the Jacksonville job, head coaching job. They could have talked to them while they were here about their interest in being a coordinator should they make certain other head coaching hires.
Again,
So there could have been a benefit to that. A
yes, no
legitimate
doubt,
benefit
no
to that.
doubt. But that's part of the process. Why are you?
I
Trying
know
to
you
hire
don't like the process. We already talked about
right, but
that.
that's part of the process. Why are you trying to pick a coordinator for your head coach?
He shouldn't be.
What do you always tell me?
About the writing process.
What if Kellen Moore or Shotty said, "Hey, I'd really like to have Robert Saleh as my defensive coordinator. Is there any way we could talk to them?"
Well, then Kellen Moore, go and talk to him. But let's
busy.
Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. And you know that you've been doing this a long time. I'm not telling you nothing.
You're doing it a long time.
these guys already got people in place. Kellen Moore has already talked to potential hires for every position.
Sure, of course.
You know, they already got guys lined up. Hey, if I get this job, will you come with me here? They've already got this done. This is not something you do after the fact.
All right, let's get our first break in here. If Brian Schottenheimer is successful in his second interview and gets the head coaching job, any ideas about potential staff? Let's talk about that with Jean-Jacques Taylor, Ed Werder, Clarence Hill, and Newy Scruggs. This is the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Hot mix waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof backpacks. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes, and next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hanging with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash right here, trying to make sense of the Dallas Cowboys head coaching search. Mike McCarthy no longer here. He's waiting to talk to the Saints about their head coaching job. He interviewed for Chicago. That went to Ben Johnson, who left the Detroit Lions as their offensive coordinator. He's now the Bears head coach. Reports are Aaron Glenn is about to take the job with the New York Jets. He played here for the Cowboys. Looks like he's going to go there. So we know Kellen Moore has been interviewed. Robert Saleh has been interviewed. Leslie Frazier has been interviewed. And Brian Schottenheimer is back for a second interview. Jean-Jacques Taylor, Ed Werder, he's Clarence Hill. I'm Newy Scruggs. So I'll start with you, most trusted. If Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach, who do you anticipate, who do you think could be on the staff? You talked about these guys all have homies and buddies and friends about who they want to
You said
hire.
it was all put together.
Yeah, man. What you got?
All I know is Jason Witten's going to be on the staff. That's all I know right now.
In what role? Because Lunda Wells is
not on the staff.
I'm just saying Lunda Wells has been your tight ends coach, and to my knowledge, I don't think he's got a job. And the only person I think off McCarthy's staff has got a job so far is Bones Fossils in Tennessee.
Yeah, Lunda could move the offensive line conceivably.
Didn't Dan Quinn try to hire him for that last year when he left to go to Washington?
He's been he has offensive line in his history. He could conceivably move the offensive line if you wanted to keep it the same. And Lunda's probably gotten overtures from other coaches and over other stops as well. So I mean, these guys are. Nothing's been set, but they're also being courted by other teams. But
tight end and run game coordinator right there.
That Jason Witten's title, you think? Tight end, run game coordinator.
Who else is on that staff out in Argyle with him at Liberty?
So Jason
Anybody else they can bring with him?
Jason Witten can coordinate a run game in his first year as a pro coach.
He got Monday Night Football on his first job.
And how did that go?
Well, he got Monday Night Football on his first
His
job.
hair looked better than his hair looked better.
Yeah.
How did that
He got some dirty work.
That didn't go, but he hadn't done that before. He's done football before. He's been running a whole team up in Argyle. Offensive and defensive coordinator there.
Would Shotty call play?
And they bring his sons.
I assume he would, yeah.
He's calling plays.
I assume he'd only stay here under any circumstances if he was the play caller.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
He's calling plays. I mean, this is.
I don't think much of the defensive staff is expecting to come back here regardless of who the next head coach is. I mean, if you're thinking Brian Schottenheimer, because of continuity, that continuity might play on offense, but defensively, I think there's going to be sweeping changes on that side of the ball. I'm not sure Zimmer's coming. Mike
Zimmer's available.
Yeah.
Mike Zimmer, people.
How come they don't interview him for head coach?
Exactly. Why didn't he get a shot at head coach? What's wrong with Zimmer? He's done it before.
He came back here to save you last year, to save Mike McCarthy's job.
And conceivably,
he's still early 60s, right?
Schottenheimer could be the offense coordinator. You're still not, and Witten could be on the staff. Why is Zimmer not the head coach? Why is Schottenheimer over Zimmer?
Well, so far in the process, they have not talked to Mike Zimmer about that.
Exactly.
Well, they've only known him for 30 years. Maybe they don't need to talk to him but hire him, but we haven't heard that at all.
So 2 interviews. We had Deion Sanders not interviewed officially, Mike Zimmer not interviewed officially.
Well,
Al
don't
Harris
know if
not
talked
interviewed
to him.
officially.
Yeah,
So just names that other people have brought up and had wondered about, but they haven't even spoken to them. And Shotty's the only one name so far we've heard that's got a second interview, which I would assume puts him in the lead.
Well, I mean, I think it's one of those gathering momentum things. He seems to be gathering momentum.
Well, no doubt, which puts him in the lead.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't do the second interview unless you're trying to hire the guy. You bring a guy back for the second time, just like the others. When Ben came back and came in to interview with Chicago, they hired him. Aaron Glenn goes back and interviews with the Jets, they hired him.
So I've heard the name Matt Eberflus for defensive coordinator. Thoughts? Anybody else hear that?
He's a good defensive coordinator. He just wasn't a good head coach. He's fine as a defensive coordinator. And what is he? Familiar. I mean,
I think he would have a lot of internal support here. I think he did a good job. I mean, they wanted to make him the defensive coordinator here before.
I mean, he's a quality coach. Ain't nobody mad about Eberflus. He'll have your defense playing good, solid defense. And you don't have to worry about him because he's been a head coach. He can handle everything over there if you want to be exclusively offense and just get pep talks. Again,
and, Mike Irvin was on his YouTube channel. If you go see it, it's like bare bones operation. He got enough money to improve that YouTube channel. He just at the house.
Where's this coming from? Is this going somewhere?
You are shooting off the hip today, my man.
I'm just talking.
Is this going somewhere?
He was not happy with Schottenheimer. He said the Cowboys need to hire a coach for the morale of the team and morale.
Well, he wants Deion.
Right. He said this does not inspire him.
He don't play no more, though.
His dollar's down. His morale is low. He like most fans.
So he's not going to do the big thing on the scoreboard before games?
No, the check is still.
If Schottenheimer's the head coach, he's not going to do the big pump-up video?
Well, that's already been done.
Tell him the you just hired, they just got a quarterback. He should be hyped about that.
I'm just saying, though, but my overall point is just looking at our Twitter mentions, your Twitter mentions, fans are not happy. This does not excite anybody. People are talking about leaving. I'm done with the Cowboys. We'll see if that really happens. But from a year in which the apathy was an all-time low, and I've been around here a long time. You've been around here a long time. You've been around a long time.
There's a lot of empty seats that last game.
The apathy for this team coming into the season was as low as I've ever seen. This fan base is more disillusioned as I've ever seen. And put this on top of it after this past season.
Only going to be like 97,000 people at games now?
Well, what happened? They might be half from other teams because they, destination. But I mean, it's just it doesn't inspire. There's nothing about this that's inspiring for a fan base that's starving.
What'll it do to the players, you think? That's who needs to be inspired.
Well, see, the other thing is the players, I think.
Why? But what? Okay.
They don't need to be inspired by who their boss is?
No, but the most things we're talking about was not about him inspiring the team. It's about him being comfortable. It's about keeping the status quo. And that is the wrong attitude.
I agree. The fan base is going to be outraged at best by this.
Players,
apathetic, even worse. But if you win, it doesn't matter.
But that's the whole thing is can you win?
Would Jerry do this if he was convinced Schottenheimer wouldn't win?
But see, here's why that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Why did he trade for Trey Lance?
Mingo?
Mingo. I mean, did Jerry do anything?
He's not giving up a 4th-round pick.
No, Jerry lies to himself at every turn. That's why you can convince yourself that 2 rookie starters playing different
and
positions.
then later he's saying, "Oh, I didn't."
He literally
overestimated that.
He got them Zig Ziglar.
Yeah, I remember in training camp talking many times about the offensive line, because they let people go and they tried to sell why it would work with the rookies.
Right. So the fact that he can convince himself that Shotty can come in here and do this or that, that's on point. That's on message for him. That's on brand for him. And then midway through the season, he'll be like, I guess this didn't work.
I guess I'm going to have to move Witten up sooner than I thought.
Yes. It's... Dude. They need somebody to come in and slap him because you can't. You just can't continually going around lying to yourself because that's how you end up with these problems.
Go spend that $10 million and go get Bill Belichick.
Do you think all of this started with the miscalibration of the McCarthy situation? Like,
oh, absolutely.
We think we've got leverage. He doesn't have any other options. We can offer him whatever we want, and he's going to take it.
It's the arrogance, man. It's like why they still, And I've said it for a minute now. Some of this is
Hayes in the barn. Hayes in the barn.
They win their marketing deals. Like they destroy you when you say, "I want to be this of the Cowboys."
Official this, official
right? Because they say, "Hey, we'll take." The vast majority of the money, but you go out and tell everybody else that you're the official this of the Cowboys, and you make your money that way. They do that, and they win so often that they've convinced themselves that we can do that with coaches, with players, with everybody, because we're the Cowboys. You should just be happy to be here.
But if you objectively look at the last 30 years, you can't possibly come to that conclusion.
But they lie to themselves, so they do.
It's called being the richest franchise in sports over the last 30 years. Being the most watched team in sports. Just look at over the weekend.
There were a lot of 1:00 kickoffs toward the end of the year.
Look at. I understand that, but look at last. The Cowboys' blowout loss to Green Bay was viewed by 5 million more people than Green Bay's loss to Philadelphia. Same time.
It's a fascination with the franchise.
But the other thing that they're missing, they've gone down a little bit. Is they're losing a little bit of star power every year. You got Dak. You got CD, you got Micah. That's it. And so before you had a collection of galaxy of stars, 8 or 9 Pro Bowls, this or that. Now, you lose those and you lose another bit of visibility. You lose another bit of stuff you can advertise to. They need to shake it up, but they won't. Why? Because they love comfortability.
So I assume everyone's reactions on their own social media channels were people weren't happy about the prospect of Brian Schottenheimer. If Schottenheimer does get the job, what does Jerry, the ultimate marketer, sell?
Dak.
Dak.
That's what he said he's going to sell.
That's all.
But people really are not enamored of him either.
Not anymore. Coming off injury.
When we asked him after the last game, how do you sell hope to your fan base? He said, we got one of the best quarterbacks in football, and we're going to protect him, and that's going to be it. That's where he went with it. That was his answer.
Going to protect him.
On both things. He said, a well-protected superstar quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks in football. He has been sometimes.
So.
And it's crazy, and I get back to the protection thing, and you look at what's the landscape of the NFL, landscape of quarterback, which is the mobile dual-threat quarterback, and that's what Dak.
Look at the last 4 guys standing right now.
That's what Dak
They've all
was
had over 300 yards rushing.
That's what Dak was coming out of Mississippi State, and what he was special about him when he broke into the league was that dual-threat part of it, and that's now out of his game.
And if you look at you look at Philadelphia and Washington, they're the 2 best teams in the NFL with the read option, which the Cowboys were exceptional at when Zeke and Dak first came into the league, and they had arguably their best teams, their 13-win teams his rookie year. That's what made that team such a powerful, dynamic offense was Dak could run. Now he really can't. And Jerry didn't want him to run before this. Clarence talked him into running. Clarence shamed Dak into running.
I was there.
2 days before he suffered that injury in Atlanta.
Yep.
I seem to remember that too. Yeah.
Yep.
I just don't understand why you can't run a sprint. Why? What are we doing that you can't sprint? I mean, look at all these coaches. Look at Patrick Mahomes is not fast. Patrick Mahomes probably run a 5-flat 40, but he's nimble and he can sprint forward. Why is it so crazy that your quarterback sprints forward and has to pull a hamstring just sprinting?
Well, one guy's almost 32 and one guy's 29.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers was sprinting and doing fine.
Fine.
Better than Dak at that point. That's what since you bring it up. Flacco was doing it. I mean,
this is exactly how Dak got hurt.
This is not how Dak
These
got
are the
hurt.
same examples he gave Dak.
You should be sprinting every day in practice.
Shame in it. You shame.
Hey, man, people's bodies are different.
You
It just
should be
happen
sprinting every day
That
in
ain't got
practice.
nothing to do with it.
You should be sprinting every day in practice.
You and James Jones, boy.
Hey, man, Miles
be
Austin.
sprinting every day in practice.
Miles Austin used to do all that stuff and used to pull his hamstring every year.
Okay, but he did it throughout his career. That's not been Dak's career arc.
Because he's gotten older, dog.
Again, the dual threat. I mean, you got to be able to move. I mean, listen, I love Dak. You know that.
Yeah, we do.
But he's not a wizard in the pocket. The thing that made him great was all the things that was part of his game.
He can still extend plays.
Yes, but what made him great was all the things that are part of his game, not trying to sit there and be Tom Brady in the pocket.
When we come back,
Should we come back?
is there a silver lining here at all?
Silver lining.
This coaching situation right now. We'll see if there's anything from most trusted Hall of Famer and national champion right here on the Media Mash. I'm Newy Scruggs. Media Mash right here on DallasCowboys.com.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash with your favorite opinion makers. Jean-Jacques Taylor, former Cowboy beat writer. Was it 5 coaching searches you went through around here, man?
I think it was 5.
About 5 of them. Ed, you've been here since Jerry said any one of 500 coaches could do.
Found one.
Jimmy did, and yeah. So we on.
He used that number 500 again after the last game. By the way, did you hear that?
Yep.
Wow.
He said there would be 500 coaches looking for jobs if he made a coaching change when he went down to the Senior Bowl.
Clarence Hill's been here for 90, 99, 98? What was it?
97. I got.
He's insulted you missed by a year.
I got.
He got Switcher's fired.
I got
Gailey's
Switcher's
hired.
fired. You know, my first year on the beat, first training camp on the beat, that's when Switcher got arrested for having a gun at the airport.
You know what he said to me about that one time?
What?
I was supposed to interview him out at training camp in Oxnard. And I was supposed to interview Jerry, actually. And Switzer was long gone. And Jerry was late to the interview, which sometimes happens, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to look for Jerry. And as I'm going toward the main lobby, which is in a separate building from the practice fields, where the practice fields are, I see Jim Maurer, the trainer, going the other way. I said, hey, have you seen Jerry? He says, oh, yeah, he's in what he called the gatehouse.
Right.
He's in the gatehouse talking to Switzer. And I said, Switzer? What's Switzer doing here? He said, I think he wants to borrow Jerry's bus for Texas OU weekend or something. So I walked into the main lobby, and there's Switzer. And I tried to act surprised, even though I'd been told he was there. And he says, "That's right, Werder. It's me. Barry's back." And I said, "Are you?" And he says, "Yeah." He says, "I've caught your act on TV." And I said, "Oh, is that what it is, an act?" And he says, "Yeah, let me tell you, ain't nearly as good without me carrying an effing gun through the airport for you." Classic Switzer.
Yeah, I was just saying, that sounds about like Barry.
So, Ed, is there a silver lining here at all?
Doesn't
for
seem
Cowboy
like it from what I
fans
can
who
tell.
are upset and they're not happy right now. So you're telling me no?
Ed is right. They're not going to be happy till they have some playoff success.
I mean, it's up to the Cowboys front office to make whatever decision they're going to make, and then make the best case in public to try to get some level of acceptance. And like, if they hire Brian Schottenheimer, he deserves an opportunity to win or not.
Okay.
Right? That's what I would say. And at least you have the benefit of offensive continuity, which is what Dak is going to want. Like, Dak just committed fully to changing everything to play in the McCarthy style of offense, right? He talked about it with his footwork and the timing of his release and all that stuff. And all that's out the window if he has to change schemes again for what? This would be the third time in his career he'd had a different scheme. Mm-hmm. So I think there's that benefit. Whatever you think of that, that's what you can sell.
Silver lining here, most trusted?
I don't see a silver lining at all. I don't see again, he deserves the right to succeed, and because it's not about him. There's no angst necessarily toward him. It's the process. Great guy. I think, I've asked some people, what is his offensive philosophy? He's not a West Coast guy. That's not his background. And he was part of Seattle when the let Russ cook days, and Russ had some of his best years.
Russ ain't been cooking since he left Shotty.
You go back to him time with the Jets, he was more of a run guy. He's really at a core a run-oriented, run play-action type guy. That's really what's best for Dak. The play action.
That's why I agree with that. That's why I thought Ben Johnson was such an attractive guy, because that's what they do with the Lions.
The play action. Of course, you got to get the running game, you got the offensive line together, but that's what he is, and so that's best for Dak.
What if he brought Anthony Lynn here as his offensive coordinator? Anthony Lynn's a noted run game.
Yeah,
they're going to run the pill.
Guru.
This year.
Has a history here with Parcells.
Can he come?
He and Shotty have worked together before.
He's the run game coordinator.
If you made him offensive coordinator, I think he could come.
Yeah.
John?
But then what would Witten do?
He's not going to be offensive coordinator. Stop it.
Is that a bracelet you're wearing? WWW.
What would Witten do?
What would
Jason do?
No, I see more of a birdcage lining, not a silver lining. And that's because
bird droppings.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and that's because you don't give, you really set Schottenheimer up to fail, because as soon as you lose 2 games, the fans will be on his behind.
And that schedule next year is a monster.
Now, normally I don't say that, but I looked at it
for a third place team,
and I was like, yeah, that's a nasty schedule.
So ask this then. At this point in time, since he's got a second interview, we're putting him in the lead. What advice would you give Brian Schottenheimer if he got the job?
Let me see. I would say hire, if you don't think he's in the building already, the very best offensive line coach Jerry will allow you to hire. And then go heavy on offense in the draft and get all the pieces you need, because your quarterback needs pieces around him to elevate his game. And then go do your thing.
Could it work if they played the same system and got better playmakers or more playmakers around their quarterback?
Oh, you got to get more playmakers. There's no question. It's been
but we've said that since they lost to San Francisco.
Kevontae Turpin should not be your second best player. He should be like your 5th or 6th best player.
Gimmick guy.
Yeah. It's like one time my son was playing AAU ball, and I pulled the coach aside like, dude, my son should not be the second best player. He should be like the 5th or the 6th best player. We're going to have a long season.
Right.
And we did. Got beat 55.
Tell me what your son's reaction is when he hears this podcast.
Oh, now he would probably say, really? Back then his feelings would have been hurt.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest that I could give Brian Schottenheimer any significant advice. I mean, he's a very engaging, relatable guy. I think people will like him.
I was going to say, that might be his best asset, is that he will come across as likable and energetic, and that may give fans, because fans are not going to be familiar with him. This will be their first real glimpse of him, and that may be enough to earn him just the smallest
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But he's a different personality than I think that's the thing that got, other than the 8-8s and the, inconsistencies with Garrett. I think that's what ruined it with the fans. For him is that he always acted, it's kind of condescending toward the fans. And I think the perception is, although wrong, that Mike McCarthy is not a very personable guy. I think he has a great sense of humor and engaged us well, but Schottenheimer's on a whole different level in that regard.
So,
you agree?
Clarence?
Oh, I agree. I mean, I like Mike McCarthy. I think he had more personality than people gave him credit for.
That's what I said, yeah.
And we had a great relationship with Mike McCarthy. I like working with him.
Free agency. Pick one guy for the Cowboys that you would franchise right now, Chuck.
Franchise?
You mean to keep on the franchise right now?
Yeah, on franchise tag, yeah. Anybody?
There's no franchise tag guy.
But if you could keep one player off the market, who would?
Okay, that's two different conversations.
One player
I'm not
off
giving a
market.
franchise tag to anybody.
No, you just mean one player I don't want to lose to free agency.
Correct.
I go back and forth on this because I have problems paying a 31-year-old slot corner when I have defensive tackles who I think can help. I'd probably try to keep Odigizui.
That's who I would.
Even though I love Jordan Lewis, I'd be like, hey.
I could get him back.
Yeah.
If you really want him back, you can pay him back.
Yeah. That's what I would do because it's hard to find young, big people who can play.
I'm with you. I would have said Odigizui as well. I want to keep Jordan Lewis, though. And again, and that's just it. We keep talking about the market, and everybody's talking about Golston as well. And I don't know what kind of market they are going to have. I mean, we think we overrate everybody here, right? Jordan is at his age and coming off those injuries. Do you really think he's going to have a robust market that's going to pay him big money?
No, but here's the deal. Can you give me a respectable deal?
No, I agree.
If I'm supposed to make $3 million a year, can you offer me $3 million a year?
Yeah.
Not 1.9.
Yeah, no, I agree. But my point is there are a lot of people think they can be priced out. I don't know that everybody's going to be priced out. And I don't know what Osa's going to get. I mean, listen, Osa's great.
Well, look at all the guys they lost on the defensive line last year that are playing pretty well.
But the only one that got decent money was Dorrance, and he got like $5 million, $6 million a year.
I mean,
so why didn't they keep him?
Well, that's a whole different conversation. I'm just saying.
Dante Fowler, why didn't they keep him?
And Dante didn't get big money.
Exactly.
What you saying? Why didn't keep him? All right.
No, I agree. But my point is that I think they can bring some of these guys back.
But will they? Do they?
Yeah, well, that's a whole different conversation.
The next time we have this media mash, Jock, who's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
Dion. No, I'm just playing. Shotty.
Ed, next time we have this show, who's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
Are we all going to give the same answer just like we did on who's the one guy you got to keep off for free agent market?
I was going to say Witten because they can't get a deal done with Shotty for the right money, so they hire Witten.
So who are you picking?
Shotty.
I'll say Kellen Moore.
That's a good guess. But he said he won't be the coach by the next show.
Well, if they lose this
the question is who's going to be the next coach?
That's right. That's right.
You're right. And I'm rooting for Jaden Daniels.
Just for the record, I'll be at the Senior Bowl next Wednesday, so y'all have to do this without me.
Oh,
can't you
finish chewing? Finish chewing. I'll go with Brian Schottenheimer.
Okay.
All points to Shotty getting this job at this point in time, unless Jerry pulls some really, really.
By the way,
wild card.
You mentioned Rich Bisaccia last
Bisaccia,
week,
but, they don't.
And he's not, as far as we know, gotten an interview of any kind. But there are certainly people in this building who think a lot of him and think he's capable of being the head coach.
Look, he brings substance.
Well, I'm going to say Shotty because if the thing don't work with Shotty, I mean, what are we doing here? You give him a second interview, all this momentum going, and
it's not like they paid him a lot of money to fly him in or something. Like he was at his office probably anyway.
I understand that, but they're doing a second interview. He's the only one that's gotten a second interview.
So far.
The momentum is building towards Schottenheimer. If he don't get the job, then something broke down.
All right.
Well, something broke down that McCarthy didn't get the job.
They had to fly.
What about if they go into this end of next week and Dion's here to watch his sons play in the East-West Shrine Bowl at AT&T Stadium? We start seeing all this video of Dion and Jerry together in a football environment, and Shotty hadn't been hired, and Kellen Moore's coaching in the Super Bowl. What are we going to think about all that?
Let's get this done before Friday, baby.
Clarence Hill, Ed Werder, Jacques Taylor, our Newy Scruggs, Media Mash, produced by Chris Beam. Got Jazz, got Joshy, everybody here at DallasCowboys.com to make it happen. Thank you much. We'll talk to you next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!